What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Tyler Games Show. It's going to be a show about what I'm looking forward to in the industry, or something I have to say about the industry, or something in it, or just something that I need to say to a camera so that I can. But with E3 happening last week, I wanted to talk about my most anticipated games of the show, whether they be coming soon or far off into the future. So I'm going to kind of go in order of the press conferences. So first up was EA, obviously. So Battlefront 2. Now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and playing Battlefront 2 back on PS2 was like one of my favorite games. And now with the original Battlefront for like the current generation, like 2 years ago, it was good. It just didn't have there were things missing, and I think Battlefront 2 is going to really take it to the next level, to that level that it needed to be at the first time around. Specifically with like heroes and the battle points system that they're introducing and the class system that they're introducing. I'm really excited for it. And of course, the story mode. As a huge Star Wars nerd, I'm very excited to see more into what happened during those 30 years, especially from the point of view of the Empire. I think that'll be really cool to see things from a different perspective than literal like anything that's like the new Disney canon. We haven't seen anything like that, so I'm very excited. And then the last night was shown on the Xbox stage. How do I explain it? It's like a Blade Runner in 2.5-ish D, kind of 3D, but it's pixel art. So it's like 3D pixel art, and it just looks really beautiful. And in a Blade Runner-like universe, like, oof, that's gonna... I'm very excited for that. It is Xbox exclusive and PC, so I'll be playing it on PC as I do not have an Xbox One. But yeah, really, really looking forward to that one. They also announced Anthem, BioWare's new IP. It's essentially a Destiny competitor, except it's in third person, I guess, and set in a more realistic future, it looks like so far. Destiny is very like magical and stuff like that. So yeah, Anthem looks really cool. Obviously hesitant about the graphics because it looked like nuts, and it probably won't look like that in the final kind of when the game actually comes out. It probably won't look like that. So, but it does look like a really cool world, and I'm excited to learn more about it and kind of see what that game's all about. And then Assassin's Creed Origins was officially announced after a number of leaks. The changes that they're making to the quest system and the item system, where it's got like rarities and rankings and things like that, and kind of some of the other aspects of the game actually have me excited for an Assassin's Creed game, and that's awesome. I'm really glad they took the year off, and it looks like it's going to work out. So I hope it works out. I'm still not saying like Assassin's Creed Origins is going to be the best. No, but I'm excited for if it's the new best game. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be happy if that turns out to be true. Life is Strange, Before the Storm, a prequel to Life is Strange as we know it, the first season, I guess you'd call it, where you play as Chloe, a young Chloe, and you deal with her relationship with Rachel. I was a huge Life is Strange fan when it first came out. It's also free on PlayStation Plus right now, so go get your hands on that if you can, because it is, if you like Telltale, like episodic stuff, and with a game with a lot of heart, that's one of them. Life is Strange is a really good game. And Before the Storm, 3 episodes, real short. I'm going to tell a story about Chloe and Rachel. I can't wait. Then Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider. Dishonored 2 was one of my favorite games of last year. I actually gave it my game of the year. I wrote up a little thing about it. And so their first story DLC going to be about Billy Lurk, the Megan Foster from Dishonored 2, who is revealed to be Billy Lurk from Dishonored 1. That's a really interesting character to explore, especially since she doesn't have the mark of the outsider. Her powers come from this prosthetic arm that she made out of the void, and this sword that was used to sacrifice the outsider. It's all part of the lore. I'm fuzzy on it, but I'm very excited to see where her story goes, especially since it takes place like right after Dishonored 2. And then Wolfenstein, the new Colossus. I saw the trailer for that at E3 this year and was like, man, I should go back and play the New Order. So PlayStation was having a sale, and I got the New Order and the Old Blood. The Old Blood was like an expansion. So I just finished the New Order. I'm about to go on to the Old Blood, and can't wait for the new Colossus, which is out in October. So it's not actually that far away. So, and then they showed Far Cry 5 on the Ubisoft stage. Far Cry 5, I liked Far Cry 4, liked Far Cry 3, didn't play Primal. They seem to be all the same games, or they're starting to become all the same games, and I'm scared that it's becoming Assassin's Creed in that way. But with the whole, you can command your friendly NPCs to go do stuff for you, like that sniper girl or the helicopter dude or your cute little puppy, to go fetch, the item or go kill that man. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works and if they can kind of pull off making it new enough, So, crossing my fingers on it. God of War, we got to see some new gameplay for it. We kind of got to see his new style of fighting. In the previous God of War games, it was much more arcadey. Now it's going to be kind of like a standard third-person action game. So, and in the last trailer, we got to see him fight a troll, like a mini-boss kind of deal. So it wasn't really representative of like when you're just fighting a group of regular baddies. Like, what's that going to be? And we got to see that this year, and it looks pretty cool. Like, you're swinging that axe around and you can throw it, but he also had this, like, retractable shield thing that would, like, it's, like, on his arm, but then he, like, bah, and it, like, poof, and it comes out and makes a circle. It looked really cool, and, but it's, like, dynamic with, like, what he's doing, so he'll, like, block something, but then it'll go away, and he'll, like, swing with both. It was crazy. And it's also super brutal, which was kind of gross, but I was having a good time. It looked like a lot of fun. Also, the dynamic with the son, I'm very excited to see how Kratos deals with being a father, especially of a demigod, or maybe just like a god. And then the humor, the serpent at the end of the trailer was really funny. So I'm excited to see how much, like, how good this game is actually going to be, because it looks like they're putting a lot into it, and that's pretty exciting. And then Spider-Man, got to see Spider-Man at the end of the Sony show. The fact that a new Spider-Man game looks so awesome is really exciting, because we've had just so many not great ones recently, or like for a couple years now, So watching Peter swing around and then like do all these cool moves that look kind of like Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum kind of style was like, oh, that got me. It was good. And the proximity web mines and stuff like that, so you're going to be able to like trick out your suit with all this tech, or at least that's what I'm assuming. And the fact that they're going with a smaller villain, Mr. Negative, he's from the comics, but he's like way less well known. I think that's a good move, because we've had so many iterations in the movies of like Green Goblin, and just we needed something new, and they're giving that to us in the form of a more obscure character. I think that's a really good idea, and I'm excited to see what that story entails. Detroit Become Human, we got to see a new trailer. I'm really excited to see how this story develops, and how we're going to go from each character to each character, especially with Marcus, the new one they showed off at E3. He's an activist, and you can choose whether you want to be peaceful or violent, and that's super interesting, especially since it's essentially a commentary on things going on today, and not even today, just like activism in general and civil rights in general. It's just Detroit has the potential to be a very cool game, and I think from what we've seen, it might be. They also said that Spider-Man and Detroit are both coming out early, or like first half of 2018, so I'm very excited that those aren't like 2020 games, you know? And then on the Nintendo side, Splatoon 2, never got to play Splatoon 1 just because I didn't have a Wii U. Now I have a Switch, so looking forward to getting into that. I don't know, people seem to like it. And then Mario Odyssey, of course. New Donk City still looks weird, but the mechanics of like Cappy and all the different things they're implementing into Mario Odyssey look really fun. So I'm really looking forward to that in the fall. And then, of course, Metroid, Kirby, and Yoshi, especially Metroid, I'm very excited for, but those seem like way off, you know, like Metroid Prime especially. Oh, and Pokemon, a full-fledged Pokemon game for Switch. Oh man, they didn't show anything for Pokemon, but very excited that Metroid Prime and Pokemon are both, I don't care how far they are away, you know, like I'm just, the fact that I know they're coming, I know they exist is enough. And then Kirby and Yoshi, they seem less far off, so I'm excited to see when those will be coming out and finally getting to play those, because those looked pretty fun too. So that's about it. Those were the games I was most excited for, the ones that stood out to me, and the ones I can't wait to play. So if you want to let me know what your most anticipated games were of E3, please let me know in the comments. I'll be patrolling those. I thought E3 was a pretty solid year this year. A lot of people were saying that it was like boring or didn't have a lot of games. I thought it was solid. You know, we had a lot of sequels, a lot of iterations on things, but I thought it was all exciting things. You know what I mean? Like, it's all better versions of the things we've seen before. So, yeah, and that's about it. So, I'll catch you next time, and thanks for watching.